right, everybody, welcome back to the Sideshow. My name is Mingo.
This is Ivan in for Tony.
And I'm Seabass.
So Tony's got a little bit of jet lag. He's not back up to par yet. He's still on vacation. So we'll get him back on Thursday. But Ivan here to help us out. Real quick before we get into anything, t-shirts and hats are on sale. We have them. Hit us up on our Instagram.
At Madhouse Sideshow, all lowercase, no spaces, all one thing.
And then that way we can get your size and tell you how to pay us, and we'll get it to you. Either we can deliver it or ship it. Doesn't matter. So if you're the ones that are listening in Minnesota or Chicago
that's gonna
or
be
Florida or...
That's going to be a pack and ship type deal.
Yes.
We can't deliver that one hand.
Yeah, Germany. Any of you guys? France, Italy, Spain? Any of you guys want a shirt or a hat? Go on to Instagram.
The Republic of Russia.
Yeah.
Hopefully we still got that guy.
Maybe we can
The
get a
shirt's
shirt.
red and yellow. It's perfect.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Perfect.
So, last week we talked about this subject, and I think I rubbed people the wrong way, maybe. Had some conversations
You
with
probably
some
hit him in
people.
the face with it.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough subject because we talked about is it ever okay for a man to hit a woman? And it was I feel like it was a really good open conversation. However, there's something that I want to talk about, but Ivan was telling me about an experience that he had while listening to the podcast.
Yes. I was able to listen to the podcast with my son. And I know the subject was kind of, iffy or taboo of sorts for some people. But those are the type of conversations that need to be had. And I'm thankful to you for bringing that to the table and for us having that conversation, because that conversation allowed me to have a conversation with my son.
Awesome.
And me as a black man, as a black father, there's certain things when it comes to like domestic violence and stuff like that. There's ever an issue to where police get involved. You want to make sure your son's doing the right thing,
Right.
and nothing's left unsaid. So we had a good conversation about the topic. Just reiterated and some things that he already knew how I felt as far as like putting his hands on a woman. I never want that to happen. But he did, bring up some valid points to me while I was talking with some of the things that I said. And so being able to have that back and forth with my son, like I said, I just wanted to thank you for that, because without the Sideshow talking about that topic, it's probably something I don't think I would have brought up.
And I think that's really the key, is that I don't think it's something that people really talk about. It is things that people think are ingrained and we should know.
Exactly.
They should be unwritten rules.
Absolutely. And I think you're absolutely right. But I'm going to tell you right now, something that I caught during that show, and I wanted to leave it for the following show because I think that needed to be in and of itself a show. But let me bring this to the table. You noticed that when I said, if a chick ever hits a man, or when I brought that up, nobody ever said, hey, well, we need to teach our girls not to act like that. Nobody ever said, oh, well, what happened to make him hit her? There was absolutely, the woman had absolutely no blame in the fight. Now, let me clarify, because some of you are probably looking at whatever you're listening on.
They're already throwing the phone.
Right. And let me explain what I mean by that. Because it's like everybody plays a role in a situation. Now, I understand that there are some men that go out, get drunk, come home, and beat up their women. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about situations that arise in relationships that when you don't know how to talk or converse, communicate, whatever you want to say, these things happen. So that is a level of what I would call toxic femininity. Because
you said that first try.
Because they talk about it like, oh, well, that's toxic
masculinity.
when I would say, hey, if a chick balls up her fist and hits you, you're okay to hit her back. That would be toxic. What?
Feminine.
No, men.
Masculinity.
There you go. But if we talk about, hey, well, it's only the dude's fault, just like we all jumped on that day. What about the girl? How do we just let it always be the dude's fault?
No. I mean, yes, women do play a part, but I will say this, yeah, words can hurt and things can be said, but at the same time, as a man, if that's the only thing she's saying is some nasty words and stuff like that, just walk away. Just walk away. And then you can choose what you want to do after that.
But this is what we gotta take a step back from. All right, we're three guys talking about it inside of a studio, right? But close your eyes for a minute and think about you're in this situation. You come home from work, right? Your wife's been home 5, 10, 15 minutes before you got home, right? From her job. But she's been stewing on something all day long. And as soon as you come in the door, she's up your ass with it. Bam, 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 and picking at you. And you're like, hey, you know what? Yeah, just give me a minute. Let me sort it out. Like, I know you've been thinking about this all day. I just need a minute to kind of, let me comprehend it. Let me figure it out. Let me mull it over for a minute. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to respond right away and give the wrong answer, right? So
that's true.
So hey, I know that you've been thinking about this all day. You've probably had the argument like 15 different ways in your head already. I just need a minute to take in what you're telling me, and then I can sit down and talk with you. And usually something like that would okay. Hey, you know what? You're right. Because that's a conversation, right?
Right.
That would be communicating.
Yes.
But normally, I would assume that if you walked in and that happened, you feel attacked. So what do? You go on the
offensive.
Right. So you're already on edge because now you're like, fuck, okay, so what's happening? Your adrenaline starts flowing, blah, blah, blah. She's screaming at you. And then it gets to a point where there's nothing else to scream about. Like she screamed out. So you relax for 5-10 minutes and then she comes back again and screaming and yelling about the same thing and coming at you. And now she's even more heated because you're not participating, right? So then that's when it becomes physical on her end, right? Oh. So not to say that it's okay for the dude to hit a chick, not what I'm saying, but we have to look at what happened and escalated from the minute you walked into the door to right before it became a physical thing between both of you and not just one. Make sense?
I mean, I understand what you're saying and where you're going. But the most important thing I think you said in that was, communication. There's got to be, if you're able to walk away from that point and she's calmed down from a little bit, maybe you come back and you just tell her, hey, before you start acting the way you're acting or whatever you need to talk about, as soon as I get home, why don't you give me a few minutes to decompress from my day or whatever the case may be before we start having a conversation, set the tone or, lay some ground rules. As partner or when you're in a relationship, you got to have those conversations because everyone has their moods,
right?
Or everyone has the things that they're dealing with, their stresses of the day. So when they come home, they kind of want to leave that stuff out the door, but sometimes you bring that in,
right?
So you kind of need that time before you start, dealing with the wife, the kids, or whatever the case may be. Boyfriend, girlfriend, you need that time to decompress first.
I would imagine, Ivan, sitting here listening, talking to you, that you would be very difficult to argue with because you're so melodic. You're so level. Even when you get excited, like there's just a small peak, but your voice is steady all the time. Like you don't get out of character very easy. So I would think that your wife would have a hard time arguing with you. I think it would be safe to say and that she mostly argues with herself while you listen.
Not necessarily true. You know, we have our moments. What I tend to do is I get quiet, okay? Because I get upset, I get angry, I get quiet. And I'll just need some time to either calm down before we could talk and have a conversation to where we can both say what we want to say. But that's not always the case with me. You know, I try to take emotion out of it sometimes,
right?
Especially sometimes at work. It's all about patience. And I try to teach, you know, some of the guys that I work with, you know, just like manners and stuff when it comes to certain things.
Right.
Like, because when you're talking to someone and someone else comes up to you and starts talking to you, you know, I'm like, I would stop. I was like, don't you see me talking to this person right now? So now you're taking the time away from this conversation when I was probably almost done, but now you interrupted me. Now I have to finish my conversation with him before I could talk to you.
What makes you so important that you can interrupt my conversation?
But,
right.
You know, so moments like that tend to get upset a little bit. But it's all about, you know, trying to find the right perspective. And I always say this. I know I could talk to some people a certain way.
Right.
Other people I know I can't. So I have to try a different approach.
Right.
In order to get my point across, or order to get what I'm trying to say across. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head with a lot of like managers that manage the wrong way. Everybody is different, and each one of your employees is different. You can't manage with one style. That being said, let me roll back here with what you were talking about. You know, it's that whole thing where you say you get quiet and you just kind of, because I used to do that with my ex-wife, and you know, a couple things I learned growing up was let them talk and let them talk themselves out because they just want to be heard. And the other one was stay the adult in the conversation and you'll win, because somebody has to be the adult. And as soon as you lose your shit, you've already lost.
Right.
So I've always kind of taken that approach. So I used to let my ex-wife just go until she was gassed out. You know what I mean? Why won't you argue? Why won't you fight with me? Because there's no need to fight. I heard you. This is what I heard. This is what you said. I understand this. This is what we'll do going forward. We're good. Yeah, that's exactly okay. And then she got nowhere to. She got what? How you gonna come at me now?
Right.
Right. But you give her 20 minutes and she figured it out, because she'd come right back and want to argue the same shit all over again.
She still does
all night long. But I never hit her.
I mean, that's a great approach. That approach it wouldn't work for me. Only because I feel that in a certain aspect, there needs to be a certain level of respect. So when we're trying to have a conversation, we need to approach it the right way.
Absolutely.
So that, you know, each other is feel like they're getting the respect that they deserve. So it's hard for me to approach it that way, because I would have to leave. There'd be no way. I'd have to step out. Okay, we're gonna have to revisit this later, and then we're gonna have to talk about that too, or how that conversation came across.
So let me ask you a question. Now that we're talking about it and we brought this up, would this be something now? Is it something that you would think of that you would be like, okay, well, maybe this is a conversation to have with my daughter about how to converse to avoid having issues?
Yes, because as she gets older, personalities start to form and attitudes start to change. It's time to, definitely get her to understand how you need to talk to people and approach people. You know, not just a man, but just people in general.
Right.
You know, so yeah, this would definitely give me the opportunity to have that conversation with her to make sure that she's a good functioning adult in society. Definitely don't want her to be one of those people with a bad attitude.
Right. You know what? I think that your daughter's probably at the high end of like the beginning stage of what I'm about to say. And that's that, so many kids these days are so involved in electronics and communicating through a phone as opposed to in person.
Yes.
That, all this digital lifestyle, and they forget and don't know the nuances of communicating in person.
You're absolutely right about that.
And I think
stuck in their phone or their computer, not really having meaningful conversations,
Right.
Some even talk how they text.
Oh my gosh.
I can't. BRB, LMAO, LO. I can't stand when people genuinely say that in a conversation.
Oh yeah.
Like, how old are you?
And I think that like these kids will never know about being at a dance and having to walk over and talk to a girl and get her phone number.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's all done
That's
through.
all middle school was for me, by the way.
It's
so don't point at me and say these kids.
I was pointing past you. I wasn't pointing at you. Outside this room, son. I because there was something about having to walk across a crowded room to go ask a girl to go dance with you. Then she's in a crowd of her friends.
Yeah.
And you got to break through that. And then you got to steady yourself enough to say, you want to go dance?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that took, real balls.
Yeah. I mean,
to do that.
Because if the girl said no, then you had to fucking tuck your tail between your legs and walk back across the dance floor. And they're laughing at you because, oh my God, he came to ask me to dance. Whatever.
Yeah.
And your boys are laughing at you like, I told you she wasn't going to dance with you.
Yep. But yeah, man, you nailed it with that.
And there's such a, any of that, dude, being anywhere and going. I remember we used to go to the mall and we would have contests. All right, let's see who can get the most phone numbers. And we walk around with a pencil and papers in our pocket trying to get phone numbers from girls all day.
Yep.
And it was a numbers game back then, not phone numbers. I mean, the more girls you talk to, the better chance you had of getting a phone number or getting a date with a chick or whatever.
Yeah. Going out with the boys, seeing how many women you could talk to.
Yep.
See how many phone numbers you can get. Yeah. That right there, helped you build your game up, your confidence up. One of my friends, he was a very smooth talker. And from him, I got some of my game,
Right.
Doing, when I got real confident and I was out there dating, one of my moves was I called the bartender over, have her go send the person who I was checking out a drink, just to start the conversation, break the ice.
Right.
And that seemed to work for me pretty good.
Let me ask you a question.
Got a little too bold, though, a couple times.
Her boyfriend come over to you? Nah, she don't need the drink, dog.
Yeah, I got a little cocky with that.
Let me ask you this. When you were back in those days and you would walk up to a bar, and would there ever be girls around you say, hey, how are you? Oh my God, you're so tall, blah, blah, blah. You want to buy me a drink? Did you ever have that happen to you?
All the time, man.
And what'd you say?
It all depends on what she looked like.
And therein lies the truth of a man's brain.
Right, and you don't get no more honest than that.
Yeah.
You know what, dude? I never bought a drink for a girl that came up and did that shit. I'd tell her to kick rocks. Why? No,
It's
why don't
funny
you?
because he's dressed in red, so he looks like Mr. Krabs. Now he sounds like him.
Right? I look like Mr. Kool-Aid right now. I'm good.
No.
She wanted a glass of Kool-Aid. I got her.
Mr.
But,
Kulo, how about that?
but shit, nah, dude. But like because girls know, right? Like they get to go out to the bar, and as long as they're looking cute and they're friendly, they don't have to take no money because everybody's buying them drinks all night. Fair?
Oh no, that's fair.
And so, dude, you already running that game. Why you got to come and ask for a drink? Bitch, you already at the bar. Buy your own drink. You know what I mean? Like,
Tried too hard.
yeah, it's just like I had a girl do that one time. Just, oh, hey, how are you? Oh, blah blah blah. So what do you do? And I'll whatever, whatnot. And hey, you want to buy me a drink? Not really. I said I don't roll like that. I don't even know you. You know what I mean? It just I never felt like I don't want to pay for your company. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
Yeah. It's wrong.
My boy kind of got a little bit of payback when we bought this girl we met, brought her back to the condo, and he gave her a drink, right? She asked, hey, you want something to drink? He's like, yeah, I'll take a beer. So she was the waiter at the nightclub we were at.
Okay.
And then so he hands her the beer. He's like, okay, that'll be $5.50. Well, she was like, oh, fuck you. We just started laughing. It was funny.
I'd be like, no, really, it's $5.50.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So real quick, I'm gonna take this back to what we were talking about real quick, just because I remembered something that I was gonna bring up, and so there's a lot of these small snippets that end up on like Facebook and TikTok and all these different social medias, right? Instagram, everything, of things that happen, right? And people post it, and they post it with their own ideology, their own thoughts, whatever it is. There was a video. This older white woman was just going batshit crazy, right? And
I feel like I've heard this before.
And she's yelling at this dude inside the car. She got so brazen that she walked over, opened the dude's truck, yelled at him, and then spat on him.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's.
He knocked a couple teeth out.
Wow.
I mean, he popped her right in the mouth and knocked a couple teeth out. Now, I'm not saying...
Is that a domestic abusable offense?
I don't know, because is it self-defense? Because spitting on someone is considered assault.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Under California Penal Code, Section 240.
Okay.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Why did you have to look that up?
Because we had talked
I
about
forgot.
this.
My bad. I forgot.
And he posed a question. And to me, just, let me lay the foundation. I feel that's the worst possible thing you can do to another human being.
Yeah.
Because it's not about saying this, hey, fuck you. That's like you're treating that person like he's less than human.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a whole different level, right?
It's a whole different level to actually spit on someone. I mean, that's
like, I don't even want to touch you.
Exactly. And I've had that situation, not particular with the woman, but with my older brother. There was a situation where I was in the kitchen. I was probably, I don't know, maybe 12, 14 years old. I was making myself some dinner, and I was cooking some tater tots.
That sounds good right now. Shit.
So my brother comes home. He's a little tipsy. He's been drinking. My mom's outside. One of her coworkers had stopped by. She's selling him a couch, so she's, talking to her coworker about the couch and everything. My brother comes in the kitchen where I'm at, sees to cook my food, reached in, grabs one of my tater tots and eats it. And I'm like, hey, what you doing? He's all, because I'm cooking my food. I was like, dude, that's mine. And he's all, man, fuck your tater tots, and just spits it on my chest.
Oh wow.
Oh shit.
So right there, my brother, no, I love him to death. He's the nicest guy. But when he starts drinking, just a whole nother person. And, you know, it didn't matter that he was 9 years older than me. You know, he's damn near a grown man. I didn't give a shit. We were fucking throwing hands right then and there.
Holy shit.
So right there in the kitchen, we're throwing hands. Like,
Shit.
my mom comes in from outside because she's like, what the fuck is going on? And there, me and my brother, we're on the floor. She splits us up. And I was so angry, as my mom split, I took a little cheap shot, hit him right in the chin. Because that's how fucking pissed off I was.
Well, yeah, I mean,
again, it didn't matter. Okay, you fuck my tater tots. If it had just been that, and he walked away, there wouldn't have been no fisticuffs or no hands thrown. But just spitting on him, and he's a guy that I looked up to. You know, and I still do. That was my big brother. Even though I was taller than him since I was like 12, 13 years old.
Oh, shit.
You know, same mom, different dad. So let's say my dad was a little taller than his.
Yeah, apparently, right?
So, yeah, it's just, I think that's just the worst possible thing you could do to someone. Again, just because of the fact that you're making them feel less than human. And you make someone feel that way, they're going to react a certain way. Here's one thing, because that guy took everything he possibly could from her at that point. But for her to just say, just to spit on you, come on. That's crazy.
Okay. So in that situation, did he do the right thing?
I won't say he did the right thing.
But you understand?
But I understand. I
The
understand.
level of anger that he felt.
Oh,
to hit her.
Man, I understand. And like I said, she could get charged with assault for that.
That she should.
Because under this Penal Code 240, it doesn't even have to necessarily hit you. Just the act of doing it in your direction.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Yeah, you can be charged with, simple assault.
So if he hit her, would that be considered self-defense then?
Yes. Any harmful or, well, I'm not sure if that would be considered self-defense. That would be a good question for his lawyer to argue. Okay. But I'm sure they would clearly. So I would understand it. I'm not sure if the judge and the jury would understand it. But
Maybe
they probably said, well, you could have just rolled up the window or whatever the case may be. I don't know, man.
Dude,
But
she opened his door.
Well, okay. Well, there you go. I mean, to me, he has a good case.
Right, because she opened the door, she encroached on his space, and then spat on him.
Yes. That's just out of control.
That's just infuriating just saying it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the level of disrespect and the level of
dehumanization.
Yeah, of just not giving a shit about another human being, to spit on him is like, it just blows my mind to be able to think that somebody could get to that point.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
And what was the argument about? Do you remember the video?
No, I don't remember what the argument was about.
But it was in a parking lot, so I'm sure it had to do something to do with parking or something. And she was just like,
so were they together? Or
no. He was driving around, I guess, and something happened, and she got out of her car and she's yelling at him and in front of his truck, and he's videoing her, and so that pisses her off, and she came and opened the door and was yelling at him and then spat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you open my door, I don't know you, you're just some random person. Now you're taking it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I'm sure they regret it as soon as they opened the door and saw you.
Ma'am, you have just broken and entered my truck. Prepare to feel my
that's
fist.
crazy.
Fuck.
Who does that?
Yeah. Meth addicts.
She looked like she could have been, though. Like, I mean, there's a lot of older white people that are acting fucking crazy right now, that just feel so entitled and are just so, I don't know, it's a trip, dude.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Absolutely just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There was something else that happened. Did you hear about that? So you know about the building in Florida too, right?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Holy shit! So I guess they've reached 11 people, and there's 150 people still missing.
What happened in Florida? I know something happened.
A condo building collapsed.
Oh yeah.
And apparently there was some guy there doing pool repairs last month or something like that, and he took pictures of like the building like dilapidated down underneath, like in the parking structure, like chunks of concrete and shit missing out of the wall, and
Shit.
it's like, holy shit, bro. Like, at what point? I'm like, I mean, as much as we need water, right, to live, to sustain life, you need it. And you know, a lot of people, water is very serene. It's very calming. You sit there, if you go to the beach, you can sit there and watch it roll in and roll out, and it calms you, the sound, right? But that shit is so powerful and can be so devastating. It's crazy that it's so, I mean, it covers both ends of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Because like there's those guys on YouTube, right? That they have this thing, and there's even machines that like plasma, that's like a plasma cutter, but it uses water. It's a water jet that will cut through steel.
Wow.
Just water. It's just so high pressure that it'll cut through fucking steel. So you got to think, if you're living by the beach, right?
Yeah.
And fucking Florida, it's humid, it's hot, the air is salty, right? Because all the seawater. You would have to assume that buildings and concrete and wood probably don't last as long there as they do here. Like here, shit doesn't last because it just dries out
Right.
after a while. You know what I mean?
And they said that building wasn't even 30 years old.
Really? Holy
I mean,
shit.
that's a very young building. And to have that type of devastation, and that was just, there had to be, I know those the warning signs you just talked about, but there had to be more than that. I mean, that's tragic. To have that many people lost in something like that.
It's amazing to think that, you know, and there's so many things in this world. And then there was a you know, that we take for granted because we see it all the time. It's always there. You don't think about it collapsing. You don't think about the failure of it because you're so used to viewing it and you use it all the time, right?
Yep.
It's kind of like when you go out to go start your car in the morning and the fucker won't start. All of a sudden, it's like, wow, fuck. I mean, piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
It's the same. Like you're driving somewhere. There was a walkway. Was it in France that collapsed?
Wow.
People were just walking on this walkway, and it collapsed. And I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like, I'm afraid of heights, so using a walkway that would have been that high anyway probably not gonna happen. I'd have to like be halfway drunk to walk across it. So, like, have you been to the Grand Canyon lately?
I have not. That's one of my bucket lists I got to do.
So, how do you feel about heights?
You know, I don't have like a huge fear of heights. I have more fear of the ocean than I have the heights. Because the ocean is fucking undefeated.
Oh yeah,
You fuck up out there, that's
your ass, dude. No matter how you call it. Now, so what's your height limit in the ocean? So do you like walk into like your ankles, your knees, your waist?
Oh, I'll go in, but you know, only time I would be on the ocean is like a big cruise ship. Okay, I'll do that. I won't do like some little ass dinghy or some bullshit like that. Because like I said, you fuck around on the ocean and you make a mistake, that mistake is gonna cost you your life. So
I'm with you. I have a huge fear of the open water.
Yeah.
And that's during the day. I couldn't imagine being on the open water at night.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude.
I had gone I was working for a company that we had a managers meeting in Tampa, in headquarters, and we had left here on a flight, and they had just hired this new guy, and they brought him with us, and it was a white guy, and he was just, he just seemed like a fun guy. He seemed like a partier, right? So me and this dude, it was a black dude that I worked with. Me and this dude got along really well and whatnot. So it was all right, cool. We're good. We'll be hanging out with each other the whole weekend or whatever. And so we're on this flight, and this white dude turns around and says, hey, I got some friends in Tampa. They're gonna come pick me up. You want to come along? We're gonna go night fishing. I was like, I'm not a big fisherman, dude. I said, what are you going to be fishing? He said, we're going to go fucking shark fishing. I said, get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? He said, yeah, we'll go out there. We chum the water, right? And I'm thinking, yeah, dude, I'm good, bro. I said, I don't like the open water. I said, and I don't like sharks. And I don't like the open water at night, so that's even worse. And I'm gonna be out there with a couple of white dudes, and you guys are all gonna be drunk. I'm gonna be downstairs, huddled in a corner of the little quarters down below, and waiting for the Coast Guard to find a bunch of fucking dead white guys on the top and a shark half alive. You know what I mean? No, I'm cool. So this dude tells us this shit, right? And I can't make this shit up. I swear to God. I'll put this on my life. This is what happened. The guy gets there, right? And his friends show up that night. They're having everybody's hanging out at the bar downstairs. And this dude's friends show up. And one guy, he's a big, heavy-set, red-headed dude with a beard. And he wore, I think he had like a fishnet shirt that night, bro, like a red one. And I'm like, man, this is all wrong, fucking wrong.
Yeah, that was a sign right there.
And the other guy that was with him looked like fucking Steve Buscemi, right?
Okay.
And then the third guy that came along was in a fucking wheelchair. You're gonna go night fishing for sharks with a dude in a wheelchair.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
like it was a fucking Scooby-Doo episode, bro. The shit, right? You know what I mean? Like the shit wrote itself that night. I was like, there's no fucking way. You couldn't get. I'm not getting into anywhere near a boat with you guys. This is fucking comedy all day long.
Wow.
Yeah. So, needless to say, I've never been. I've been out in the open ocean, like maybe to Catalina, but I've never gone.
Yeah,
like. There's just so much shit that's undiscovered. Yeah. In the ocean. They find brand new shit all the time.
Yeah.
And I believe that there are fucking squids or octopus big enough to swallow a ship. There's got to be.
There are.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And my luck that want to be around when I'm in there.
Right? And you're like, fuck that, dude. Like, maybe you'll get me to go into the ocean to my ankles. Or to my knees, I mean. And as soon as seaweed hits me, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'll sit on the beach and look out, look around, you know what I mean? See the sceneries. But other than that, yeah, I'm not a water person like that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But back to Arizona, back to Grand Canyon. They have a like a pad that you can go out on that's solid glass.
Oh, wow.
And so you walk out over the Grand Canyon. I think it goes about 30 feet, 40 feet out.
Wow.
And it's just all glass. Dude, you'd probably see my piss trail from getting on that glass all the way out to the edge. I mean, there's no way, dude. Like, just thinking about it makes my knees tingle.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I know exactly what you're talking about because I can see it in my head. I don't know if I could do that. I know there's some thrill seekers out there that are all over it, just like they have it's that one where you can walk out on it's a real tall building and you can walk out and it's glass so you can see down below.
Oh yeah, it's on the Empire State Building?
Yeah, it's one of those, yeah, I believe so. And then there was another hotel that just came out that has like a glass swimming pool, but it's high up.
Fuck that.
Okay, when you're in it, and you can see down below as well. I mean, those are all like really cool. Okay, but I don't know if I could trust the architecture.
Yeah.
People that built it. Just I'm telling you, we're in San Diego, and they had one of those elevators at our hotel, to where you step in the elevator, it's a glass elevator, and looks out towards the bay.
Right.
And there was like 3 or 4 people in there already. And Martin's like, well, do you want to get that one? I was like, nah, we'll get the next one. I was like, I'm good. But so
That's hilarious.
she's like, I don't know. I had that irrational fear. Like, I don't want to get stuck in this thing. And I'm looking out, and I can actually see, how far we're actually up, stuck.
Right. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
I was like, nah, I'm good. We'll get the next one.
Your wife Marta doesn't have a fear of heights?
No, she's not really like a scary person.
Right.
She won't watch scary movies, but no, she's pretty tough, man.
Right on. Well, like in China, they have that bridge that goes from, like, I mean, it's a far bridge. Like, it goes from mountain to mountain, right? There's no fucking way. Like, there's people that go out there and walk it, and they're like crawling on the glass.
See, why would you do that to yourself?
Right? If you know you have a fear.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, I don't.
Why?
And then the assholes put TVs under it.
Oh.
So that you step on it and it looks like the shit cracks.
Oh.
Dude, I'd fucking die right there. Who's gonna roll them out?
Yeah, that's not very nice.
Yeah, hey, Mingo died on a bridge.
Yeah. You got people just passing out just from the fear alone.
You know what? Even when we went to San Francisco and we went across the Golden Gate, like, you could feel that thing moving too, dude. And I'm like, there's no, like, that's just fucking crazy. But that one, you know what's funny, though? That one didn't bother me that bad because we walked underneath it. Mm-hmm. And because you can walk underneath and go from side to side or whatever.
Nice. And
we did that, and that didn't bother me too bad. But then we watched a video of the dudes that paint shit. You know, they paint that bridge every year. And they start on one side and go all the way across the bridge. And it takes them a full year to paint it. So when they're done, they have to start all over.
No way.
Yep. And all they have, like, these guys are fucking walking up the bridge.
Cables.
Right? And they're only held on by a little fucking rope.
Damn.
They just clip on
carabiners.
Yeah. Clip on a carabiner and get to walking. There's no fucking way, dude. I get 3 feet up, I'm gonna be holding the. Nope. Somebody got to come get me.
I wouldn't get 3 feet up. I'd look over at the ocean. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll stay here.
Yeah. Like the guys that do the fucking windmills out here. Have you ever seen the videos?
Windmills anywhere.
Holy shit, dude. They do. There's a video that they have from somebody flying a drone to the top of the windmill, and the view from the top of the windmill down. There's no fucking way, dude. You couldn't get me. Like, I might be able to coerce myself to go to the top, right? Be like, hey, dude, it's good money. You need the money. It's good money. You need the money. But when I got up there, I'd be like, I need to get down. I don't care how much. Like, dude, it'd be debilitating.
What's weird is I don't like heights. But if I'm in a plane, I can look out the window and I'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I don't get my fear sometimes. Like, I feel like it'd be okay in a helicopter too. Like, I want to do that at least once.
But there's those things that they're kind of like tempting fate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? The Stratosphere that has that one ride?
Fuck
and it just
all of that. 100%.
You know?
Like, there's a reason your body's telling you you're afraid of it. Is because it could kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
My body knows that I shouldn't be too high up because once I hit the ground, I'm painting the sidewalk red.
I mean, all it takes is that thing just to malfunction.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, nah, I'm good.
Dude, the first time I hear that ride is like I'm sorry, we got to work on it. We got to maintenance it. Fuck that.
Yeah, shut it
I wasn't
down.
going to get on it anyways. But fuck that.
Well, because now you're talking about, okay, well, the engineer that made it isn't going to be the guy that's working on it. So, dude, you're paying $15 an hour?
Yep.
Not that there's anything wrong with making $15 an hour, but yeah, but that's a
But
fucking
I'd rather
ride way
someone-
above the ground.
I'd rather get someone who's paid $100 a minute to fucking fix it.
Yeah, something. Shit, man. Well, like, what's that? There's a restaurant now that you hang up high off the building and you're just sitting in the chair and nothing below you.
I don't get the people
Why?
who do that when they go fucking rock climbing, when they go like cliff. I don't even know what the word, cliff climbing, whatever, fuck it.
Rock face?
And they have the fucking tents that hang off the fucking cliff. I
That's
can't stand
crazy.
that.
Yeah, you couldn't get me to do that. Like,
I have too many times where we've gone camping and I've rolled to the front of the tent.
Oh yeah. I mean, how do you
I'm not
sleep
going to
comfortably?
wake up swinging.
Yeah. How do you sleep comfortably? There's just no way.
Like, I would have nightmares
How do you
about
set that
falling
up?
out. Yeah. Well, you gotta pound the
I wasn't asking for a legitimate answer.
I'm just saying, like that's right? Like, you gotta pound the whatever
Well, yeah,
the nail
that,
into
not
the
only-
fucking
yeah.
anchor. Holy shit! Well, like those people that go fucking climbing in the glaciers, right? If you fall down a crevasse, you're never gonna fucking climb back out, right? So you got to be tied to somebody, and the only thing you have, like, I don't know, the only thing you have to help you get out is that 1 or 2 ice picks,
Yeah. You hit one patch of shit ice.
and you're
and that's
done.
it, yeah.
But could you imagine? It's got to be hard enough
I'm
climbing.
trying
up.
not to imagine, thanks.
It's got to be hard enough climbing up a mountain, right? With little to nothing on your back. And now you're talking about, now you got snow gear on, which has got to be a good
You got
30,
those
40
special
pounds.
fancy shoes that stick in. to
Yeah, they
the
got
ice.
the metal clips in the front.
pricks, yeah.
And then you have your 2,
Your ice pricks.
yeah, your hand axes, right? And you got those big ass thick gloves. So I would be afraid I'd hit it and try to pull up and my whoop, slide right out.
Yeah.
There's no way, dude.
I couldn't do it just because, I just don't like the cold. Brothers don't like the cold, man. We're tropical people, so.
I'm right there with you.
Tropical people. Holy shit.
I don't think I can't. I don't know if I can fuck with the snow like that either.
No, I couldn't. I
All
mean,
right,
it's
Mr.
one thing to be
Montana.
climbing, like the people who do Everest. One thing to be making that climb.
Do people die? on
Yeah.
that? Constantly.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
a cliff where people will fucking sit in tents and sleep with oxygen tanks. Because if you don't, you will fucking die.
That's
That's the
crazy.
shit that doesn't make sense. Like, hey, you want to go climb a mountain? Like, okay, make sure like 2 stories high. Okay, fuck it, I can see.
See, and they're dying for nothing because people have been higher than that.
Right.
People have been to space now.
Right. So here's the thing. Why is it fun for people to go do shit that may end up in? So we're here, everybody here today. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
We all knew him as a very
Adventurous. man.
adventurous person, and it was one of those adventures that caused us all to be here today. Like, dude, that's why.
It's
You're
like
always
that-
going to
it's
have
like-
those people that are extreme.
It's like that episode of Family Guy, right? Where he goes, that was fun. I'm going to chase this moment for the rest of my life with drugs. Except they don't do it with drugs. They do it by actually jumping out of planes again.
Fuck, man.
Because you have those people that are extreme thrill seekers. Like I was watching this movie this past weekend about this one kid who died young. He was 22 years old, surfer. And he surfed, it was based off a true story. He surfed
Oh, yeah.
the big waves when you have a big storm and the waves are just super
Right.
huge. Okay. He was able to successfully do it. Okay. He didn't die that way. He actually died free diving.
Fuck is free diving.
Where there's no oxygen
Diving in
tank.
the ocean. Yeah.
You're going as deep as you possibly can, and then you're coming back up. No oxygen tank, no nothing. Just
But the reason people die is because they come back up too fast, and the
Oh, and
nitrous bubbles pop, form in their system.
Well, yeah, because you got to get in one of those tanks, right? The decompression tanks or whatever they're
yeah.
called.
If you come up slow enough, I don't think you do, but he probably wasn't.
But fuck, if you go down so far, you're dying to get back up. I mean, no pun
Literally.
intended, but
No, literally.
fuck, that's crazy. Like, what would you say is the most extreme thing you've ever done?
Wow. Yeah, I'm boring, man. So I couldn't even think of something that I did that was real extreme.
Yeah.
It was delivering packages in Compton.
Yeah, that was the most extreme thing I ever done. Exactly.
Sebastian?
The fuck?
I mean, I know your
You
life.
know who
but
I am? Yeah.
I do, but for the listeners.
Well, it's one of two because I broke my arm on one of them, on both of them actually.
Right?
But we're not going to talk about the second one because we've already brought it up.
Ivan would enjoy that story.
He
just to
will.
let you know.
He will after. The listeners have already heard it.
Okay.
I don't. Nothing. I like. Other than that fucking hill up north, that's probably about the most extreme sports thing I've ever done. I know we're not talking about sports, but with the bikes and the skateboards and scooters and shit.
Oh yeah. Wow, that wasn't even all that much of a. The most extreme thing you've ever done. So, we used to go to this lake. We used to go camping, and we went to this lake, and we
Wow.
rented a pontoon boat.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this fear of there being, was it sharks or crocodiles?
Sharks.
He had a fear that there was sharks in the water.
Okay.
And I'm like, son, it's freshwater and it's landlocked.
Yes, but you got to remember that I'm how old? 10, 12? So I don't know what the fuck the difference between freshwater and... I mean, I know the difference, but it's like... I don't know if somebody could have airdropped one into here, you know? My mind, like, I have a very creative, imaginative brain that once my brain says, fuck it, there's sharks in there,
Yeah.
you're already in the water. It's like,
Yeah.
well, there's sharks in here, and if I die, I die.
So we finally convinced him to jump in the water, and he did it,
Nice.
even though he was scared of sharks,
there you go.
Was?
or is, I guess. But you know, there's not in regular lakes anymore, right?
But how did you feel in that moment?
It was awesome, right? Because the water's there. I'm cool. There's a boat. I was living out my fantasy of being on a boat and being on the water, right?
There you go.
And then I hit this little island that's on the cliff of that fucking... Like, we're close enough to land, right?
Right.
So I stand on it, and I'm like, cool, I can stand here. I don't have to swim anymore. I'm tired, right? My brain now will not let me go back to the boat
For the same fear.
for the same reason.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sitting there, and it's barely enough for me to stand on it. I'm like, I can't go back. Because in the time that I swim from here back to there, I'm going to fucking die. 15 minutes. 15 minutes I was standing there on that fucking thing, and dude, come back. You're fine. And I'd sit there and like flinch forward like I was going to jump. My brain was, nope, you can't do that.
He wouldn't jump off the little cliff, dude.
Wow.
The boat was like from here to the door.
Oh, really?
It
Like
was
maybe
fucking
3 feet.
farther than that. Because if I would have been able to jump and touch it with my hand, I would have been okay.
Yeah.
But I would have had to. I had to swim to get back to it, and they wouldn't bring it any closer because it's the land. Like, yeah, I get it. But
Yeah, we couldn't. Like, we were too close to the rock.
to
you
the
were
wall,
on.
yeah.
That's
So.
crazy.
And that was about it, right? That's probably about the craziest.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you've done?
I mean, I've been on jet skis, but that's not really extreme.
Right. I've done
Can
that.
be. What else? You've been on a quad, right?
Oh yeah, I did quads.
Okay.
We were quadding. I have videos of that. That was fun. What else? Didn't we get in race cars when we were little?
Oh
Me and
yeah.
Milo, we got in a race car.
So we were. I was working for a Spanish station out in Phoenix, and they had the Sprint
was pretty
500. Is that what it is?
Okay.
And so they, it was media night, and they gave us tickets to go out and take the kids, and they actually got to get in the pace car, and the
Nice.
guy took them around like 3 times or something in the pace car, and they said they were glued to the side of the car because it's just left turn, so
Yeah.
they were both glued to the outside. I guess the dude was like 100, 120, said something like that. He was going pretty fast out there. It was pretty cool. That was kind of
From what I remember, yeah.
like, damn, I want to go.
Yeah, my wife got to do the BMW experience out here, in Coachella.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Part of her job, is showing showcasing the Coachella Valley to different travel agents, stuff like that. So she had an opportunity when she took a group of travel agents out there to the BMW experience to get in the car and go do a lap or two. Before she been out there, she didn't want to do it, but this time she's like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. So she tried it, and she showed me a little video.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We had done something like that too, older, because I remember it vividly. I do remember part of that race car experience, like looking through, like, you know how it's the slotted, like the cloth?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I remember looking out of that specifically. That's why I remember that we did that. But we got to do something kind of like that, where you just drive a couple laps on your own. It was me, Milo, and I don't remember who else. But we got to get in actual, like, serious go-karts.
Oh, nice.
And just fucking race, the three of us.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It was fun. I can't think of any other shit that I've done that's crazy.
Yeah,
I ran down a hill at about 45 miles an hour.
for about 20 feet.
Yeah. So we were going camping, and of course, my luck, we get the fucking campsite that's on a cliff. It's not really a cliff, but it's a cliff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's got a grade to it. And there was a tree with a swing at the bottom of the hill.
Okay.
So like, cool, let's go. So me being cool, calm, and collected, I'm walking down sideways like you're supposed to down a fucking hill. And then I don't know what I hit, but I ended up no longer being slow and just bolting towards it because I couldn't keep my footing sideways.
Yeah.
So I'm now running. I'm taking a step every 5 fucking feet now because that's just how fast I'm moving when my feet aren't hit on the ground.
Did you know, like, at that point, did you know, like, I was fucked?
Like, I'm going to fall. I'm going to hit something. So then I trip and start tumbling down and do that shit. Fucking hurt.
Well, I bet it did.
And I remember looking up and my stepdad is just laughing his ass off because I've ran down a hill. That shit hurt.
Fuck.
God, I've gotten hurt a lot of times doing some stupid shit. Not even stupid. I was being careful.
Maybe too careful. Maybe that's why. No?
I don't think too careful is a thing.
No.
Where you can get hurt.
You've been too careful and fucked something up, right?
Yes. That's something I would say when I'm training these guys. There's a fine line you got to walk between too cautious and overly cautious, or being cautious and overly cautious, I guess.
Right. See, I was in New Mexico, and the dude that I was living with he was like into sports and shit, and he had bought a mountain bike because the city out there where we lived, like, here's a Sandia Mountain, like right across the street, right? So we lived like right at the base of the mountain, and he had gone out and he bought like a $1,500 fucking bike, right? Oh, yeah. And he was all like, "Hey, come on, man, Mingo, go buy you a bike and we'll go." And it's like, fuck, I don't want to spend $1,500 on a bike. He said, "Oh, you don't have to do that. Just buy like a $300 bike or a $500 bike. You'd be good." Fuck. All right, let's go. So I went and I bought like a $300 bike, dude.
Wow.
And he kept telling me, "Hey, dude, buy a helmet. Buy a helmet." I'm like, "Dude, I don't fucking need a helmet. Dude, I've been riding bikes since I was a little kid. Falling off and hit my head. I don't need a helmet." He said, "Dude, you need a helmet." So before I could finish paying for it, the guy behind the counter said, "Where's your helmet?" And he wouldn't let me buy it without a helmet.
Wow.
So I went and I fucking picked out a helmet, right? It was one of the little pointy ones on the... So next day we go out riding. Now, you got to remember, New Mexico's a mile high. So air's thin. It's harder for fat people to breathe. And so here I am, and it's all uphill.
Damn.
To get to where we're going. And it took us a lot longer because I had to stop like every couple of feet, like stop, have a cigarette, and then, okay, let's go. And you're going up this fucking grade, right? So I do good. I'm with them, caught some other guys along the way, and we're all riding together or whatever. And so we get to the peak, right, of where we were going to go. Mm-hmm. And the peak went like this, and the other side was like this.
Damn.
Or so that's what it felt like. So Albuquerque's really notorious for, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. And it really, like, they have, like, you could have all 4 seasons in one fucking day.
Wow.
So I'm on top of this hill, and I'm fucking beat already. I'm like, oh, fuck, man. They say, hey, we gotta make it down, and then we'll just, you wait here, I'll go get the car. Like, all right, cool. So I just said, fuck it. And I started going down, right? And I started picking it, like, you didn't even have to fucking pedal. You just had to pedal to get off and just hold your feet, right?
Damn.
And dude, I started hitting 25, 35 miles an hour down the hill, right? Well, it had rained the day before.
Oh.
And it must have been a good amount of rain because there was little gutters of like where the water goes, right?
Yes.
And I'm going and I get caught in one. Well, this little gutter was taking me towards a big rock. Like, I don't know, like you in that corner size rock, right? And I'm like, fuck, I gotta get out of this. And so if you've never ridden or been on a trail and mountain biking, what you do is you when you're going down a hill or, trying to keep control of your bike, you stand up and you kind of squeeze your legs onto the frame to help you control it, right? So I'm doing that, and I lean back and I tried to pop a wheelie to get out of the little ravine because it was just enough to cover my tire, right? So I guess I was going too fast and I didn't pull up hard enough, because as soon as I felt like I lifted to pull right, that fucking wheel went bent in half. I went right over the handlebars. I landed on my head. I cracked that helmet from the front all the way to the back.
Damn.
In half, bro.
Damn.
If I wouldn't have had that helmet, I would have died.
Wow.
I was out. I was off my feet for about a month because I'm sure I broke some ribs. I'm sure I compressed my spine. I'm sure I had a concussion. Damn. I didn't go to the fucking doctor. I was working part-time. I didn't have no fucking money. I didn't have insurance. I was like, I'll be cool. So I slept in the living room on the floor on my back and tried to breathe as best I could because my side hurt. But yeah, dude, I was out for about 4 weeks doing that shit.
Damn.
Fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
And then we used to go out here. Has Martha ever told you about the waterfalls back here?
No.
Off of Palm Canyon?
No.
So,
yeah. Yeah, because we want to go hiking back there.
Okay.
And, go visit that, but...
So there's a couple different ways to go, and there's like 4 different waterfalls.
Uh-huh.
But you got to know where to go and how to get there. So we used to go there, and we would ditch or go during the summer, right after spring. So it was hot enough to melt the water to bring it down, right? And nice. There's one where it's got a really good pond at the bottom, and then you scale the little wall up to like the next level, right? And there's a pond on the top that feeds the bottom pond with a waterfall, right?
Nice.
Well, what's cool is if you wear Vans, you can climb inside this hole, right? And you use your Vans to kind of hold, because if not, it's too slippery. And it's a natural water slide in a mountain. Wow. And it's fucking cool. So you come down through the slide into that top pond, right? And you can try scaling the mountain back down, the wall back down, or you just jump from there to the bottom pond. Now, I'm not telling people to do that. Don't do that unless you've checked the depth of that pond. Because what happens, a lot of people go up there and they do that shit and they break their fucking ankles because they jump off the top, didn't check to see how deep the water down below is, and fuck themselves up.
Yeah.
But we used to do that shit all the time, dude. And that's where, like, I have a natural fear, but I've always been able to overcome it. But I think in those situations or the places that I'm talking about, there's no way I couldn't overcome that fear. I think I would be so shitting myself that I couldn't move in those situations. There's no way.
But sometimes, you psych yourself out because you have this big fear of what's going to happen.
Right.
What can happen. that you kind of just take yourself from, or don't allow yourself to enjoy the moment.
I think that's a big thing. I think a lot of people do that, and they allow their mind to get the best of them.
Yeah.
And they're not able to get past it.
Yeah. And that could be with just like anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because Marta, like, there's been times when she's taken me to some of her events with her job.
Right.
And I feel like so out of place that I'm like, man, I don't want to be here. Instead of just like, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to enjoy myself. Have a good time.
So do you believe it's more your mindset or what you assume is going to happen?
Oh, it's definitely... Or
the way you're going to be treated?
It's definitely my mindset.
Yeah.
Because the people have been nothing but, awesome. Very cool people.
Right on.
For different work events and stuff like that I've actually gone to. It's been nothing but very nice people.
So let me ask you a question. Do your brothers and sisters, your family visit you often? Whose family visits more, yours or hers?
Well, my sister lives like a block away from me.
Okay.
And then I have my younger sister, but her parents, since they live, right here in the valley, her sisters live right here in the valley. We see them quite often. So,
are they comfortable enough when they come to your house to go to the fridge and get what they want, or do they still have to, or do they still ask, hey, you mind if I grab something, or do you mind if I woo woo, or do they just go?
Oh, they still ask, but we've been family for, over 20 years, So that's
you
all they know me.
So that wouldn't be that's not a problem for you. It's not a big deal.
Nah, it's not a problem for me at all.
Okay.
Unless it's just one of the younger kids, because they have to understand, their place,
right?
Manners. But it's the adults. I'm not going to make a big deal about it.
So, at what age is it that is that cut off?
I say maybe they're a teen, a little older, because at that point they already know right from wrong.
Okay.
But there should be a certain level of respect for that person's home, regardless if they're family or not. To say, hey, do you mind if I, or whatever the case may be.
Agreed.
I'm 21. I still ask.
So my kids they're good like that. Don't have that issue, and all the kids that we have there, they're good like that. There's never been an issue, but yeah, that's my mentality.
So let me ask you this. So, because you've had the guys over, we've been over a few times.
Yeah.
Like, I would never, that's not my, I'll do that until the day one of us dies and I'm not coming over anymore.
Right.
Hey, you mind if I grab something? Hey, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not just going to walk in there. Would it bother you if one of the guys just went into the kitchen to grab something without asking?
I think it would.
Yeah?
Because, that's just common courtesy. When you're at someone's home, you just, you give them that respect. You respect their shit, And
I think the way you handle yourself, it comes across, because I think at the same point you would be like, because you've done it with us. Hey, you want something? You want something to drink? You need anything? So that kind of sets the tone for it.
Right.
I wonder, because there was this girl on TikTok talking about this, that her brother and sister, or her sister and her brother-in-law, I guess, got pissed off because she went over there and she had just helped herself to something in the fridge, which, if you're family like that, that's different. You know what I mean? Like, I still, when I'm at my sister's, I still, hey, you mind if I grab a soda? She's like, dude, you don't have to ask. Like, yeah, it's not my house. I kind of do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how do I know that that's not your last fucking soda?
Exactly.
I'm not going to take it. What are you talking about?
Right.
Right? So, when you go back to your mom's house, Do you feel comfortable enough to just go to the fridge, or do you ask?
Oh, yeah. No. I live there. I went through psychological torture there. I'm going into the fucking fridge.
You don't care at this point?
It's not like they have anything good in the fridge to drink either.
Really?
They have diet soda.
Oh, that's worse than just regular soda.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
So you're basically saying you're grandfathered in. So
I'm sunned in, goddammit.
So when you go there,
I've been
you're
threatened
good.
to be fought in that fucking house before.
Okay.
I'm grabbing a drink out of the fucking fridge. Or food, fuck it.
So
You got chips in the cabinet, I'm eating your chips. I lived here, I'm visiting.
Okay.
right. I'm still family. This is still my house.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. What about when?
It's a different situation with my mom. Anyway,
So let me ask you this, because you go back and you stayed with Jeremiah before.
yes.
When you go to Jeremiah's house, do you go straight to the fridge or do you ask?
I don't have to ask, but if I did that, I would ask.
Okay. Good.
Even though that's my second mom, basically. I still, hey, mind if I grab? What do you got? You know.
Right.
And she does the same thing. You don't have to ask. It's like, no, but I respect you, so I will.
What about James's friends? You ever caught any of them going into the fridge and like get
No.
James the evil eye?
Not at all.
No.
No.
It's good.
Because I make sure if any of his friends, they come over, they're gonna see me.
That is
And I
not the
make my-
creepiest thing you've said.
Make my presence known. You
Right.
know? You don't come over here and disrespect my house.
Yeah.
No.
You know what's funny is Milo had a friend come over, and
This is my favorite story.
my big thing is when you walk into my house, we didn't fucking wake up together. You should shake my hand.
Right.
Like that's always been a. Dude, we should get smacked in the head if we'd go to like family or friends with my parents and we didn't shake hands. Like
Right.
that's. You grab his hand, you look at him in the face. Hi, my name is Mingo. It's nice to meet you, and then go do what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
But when you walk into somebody's home, you stand up and you shake their hand.
Exactly.
Especially if you're there and I'm not. Like, he had somebody over and the dude was here with him. And I walked in and he was lying, like Milo was playing a video game and he was lying on Milo's bed. And I walked in and he said, "Hey, what's up?" The fuck? I said, "Hey, Milo, come here real quick." Said, "You need to tell that kid to go home." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because ain't nobody coming in my fucking house and enjoying all my shit and not stand up and shake my hand when I walk in a room." I said, "You don't even say, sup. You say, hey, Dad, how's it going? Hey, Dad." What? Like, there's, fuck that, dude. He needs to go. And he was like, "Really?" "Yeah, really."
Yeah.
I said, "Because fuck that. That's disrespectful. That's rude.
Yeah.
Get out." I don't know who his parents are or whatever. They got a problem, they can call me.
Yeah.
But now he came over the other day. Well, as soon as I walked in, that boy jumped up on his feet. "Hey, how you doing, Mr. Lopez?" "I'm good."
That's just what you do.
Right.
You know? Common respect, man. You don't. I hate it when, especially at work, because when I come in, I greet everybody.
Right.
I'm the one walking in. I should walk in, say hi to my boss, my coworkers, whatever it is, give everyone a dap, whatever the case may be, shake their hand and greet them.
Right.
But then we have other people, they come in the office and they don't say shit. It's like, and then you expect me to come over to you. Like, no, that's not how it works.
Right.
You walk in, you should say hi to everybody. See, not expect everyone come to you and be like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" Oh, fuck that. So there are times where I just won't say shit. I won't talk to you then. That's how you gonna be.
I have a different thought process. I remember I walked in to work and everybody else had said hi as I walked in. One of the fucking managers didn't. I remember that shit for months. So it comes time around for the quarterly what the fuck
Reviews?
Review?
Yeah.
Okay.
And at the end, the GM goes, "Okay, is there anything do I need to know anything about managers or other associates or what's up?" And I was like, "Well, a couple months ago, I'm not kidding. I don't know why that's such a thing for me, but like when I like, oh hi, how are you? Like, good,
Yeah.
cool. I want to be like I fucking work for you. Ask
Right.
me how I'm fucking doing, right?
Yeah.
And so I told the GM, and she was like, "No, you're totally right. I know it's like one of the tiniest things ever, but
Right.
you're right." So she talked to her, and
Did
she does.
greet you now?
She doesn't let me walk past her without her saying anything to me. So
Well, it kind of sets the
feels good to
tone
be
for the day.
vindicated.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, and it's so much more important from a manager than like a coworker. You know what I mean?
No, I agree, man. Because everybody's gonna follow your mood. So you
I had-
can't be that angry, grumpy guy all the time.
we had a regional manager that would come in and not say hi to anybody. Like, hey, you know that I'm not the only employee that works here, right? He said, well, yeah. What do you mean? I said, why don't you greet the staff, dude? Like you're
They work for you.
you're the boss. You're my boss.
Exactly.
Like, you're supposed to command that level of respect. And how are you going to do that when you don't even say hi?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. That's a problem.
It's a huge deal because now you're kind of portraying that, oh, I'm better than you, or I'm so many positions higher than you that I don't even have to acknowledge you.
Right.
And that's not cool.
Right. And it's that whole I'm so far above you. I don't need to engage with you. I don't even need to. You're not even on my level. I'm not going to recognize you.
Exactly.
Fuck that. I used to make myself a nuisance to managers like that. Seriously, growing up, or when I was younger and starting different businesses or whatever, I'd get in their ear. Hey, what's going on, man? How's it going? Blah, blah, and just sit there and
Dude, I'm like that.
they'd be like, hey, shouldn't you be doing something? Oh, well, I just thought maybe I'd get to know you. That way, next time when you come in, you say hi.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're very much the same person, you and I.
Yeah, that's not always good. You got to learn how.
I know. I know.
It took me years to master it, and I don't even know if I've done that yet. I'm getting there though. Sometime before I die, I'll master it all. Okay, so we covered family, kids. What if you had like coworkers over, dude? Right? And it was like the first, like you threw a barbecue for your drivers, and you were just like, hey, you know what? You guys have done really good. I'm gonna do a little barbecue at the house, and they come over and they just feel like they can walk in and out of your house or whatever and grab whatever they want without asking.
Fuck no. Respect my shit.
I like you, Ivan.
I just, that tone is still gonna be, for everybody. You respect my shit, man. I've always been that way,
Right?
especially there's times when my younger cousins would come over, and I had this one cousin, my cousin Isaac, loved him to death, but he would ransack my room, man. And my mom would always tell me, hey, you better put your good shit away because you got your cousin Isaac coming over, and I'm like, man,
Fuck.
That sounds familiar.
so I go through and find all my good like G.I. Joes and shit, So I made sure, hey, come on, man, you gotta respect my shit, bro. So yeah, it's just common courtesy, man. You going over someone's house, you don't treat it like your own. That's their house.
You don't treat it like a swap meet, right?
Yeah, you don't do that.
I confronted my cousin like a couple weeks ago because he does that all the time. Just noticed him doing it. So he was about to leave, and they'd come back in from outside, and he passes that wall that's right there with like the bowl of shit, and he picked something up out of the bowl. I was like, dude, it's not a swap meet. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, he's very intuitive. Like he's very in tune with shit and sees everything. So he'll come over and he'll see something. Oh, what's this? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? What's this? What's that? And it's just like, fuck, dude,
He picks it up like he's looking for a price tag on it.
Like, are you casing my place or
Yeah.
what's going on?
No,
It's just kind of funny. He just got that personality, but
I totally understand that.
But he's very much though like he's a sales guy, and he's very much like the two of us are. I think I've learned to kind of see shit without picking shit up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that makes it makes me uncomfortable.
Touch with your eyes, not with your hands.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Wouldn't do that to somebody else. You know what I mean? No, I wasn't casing your place.
I wasn't there, so I can't tell you if he was or wasn't.
Nah, come on. But yeah, there's a lot like there's so many different things like that people do that are like that. Like I smoke, so it's always like, hey, would you mind if I mean that first night that you had the party, I was walking out front and smoking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to smoke back there because there was a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And then you were like, no, you're all right. All right, cool. Well, if you say I'm good, I'm good. You know what I mean? But shit, I'll walk out front. I know what's up. You know what I mean? And I would never do that without asking or without being told, hey, yeah, you're good. You know what I mean? And I don't think that not everybody thinks that way, though.
Right. Some people just maybe, I don't know, get a little bold or just, take it for granted.
Themselves.
Yeah. Or just don't have that level of respect. We come from the same era, so we think the same way to have that, and we both had, those strict parents. Manners were everything, man. So yes. I'll always hear, when you're outside, don't think that you're gonna disrespect me or do something that that you're not gonna be held accountable for when we get back. Ooh. So it's one of those things that I don't know, it's ingrained in me.
Did your mom ever grab you by the arm, pull you close, and say, "You wait till we get home"?
No, she would do that. Would just put the fear of God in me. It was just okay, I'm gonna tell your dad.
Oh,
okay, and that right there, that was enough for me to straighten up whatever I was doing wrong to make sure that I'm good.
Right? Fuck. My mom too. Like she'd be okay, but I knew how to work my mom, so I knew how to get what I wanted out of her. But my dad wasn't like that. Like I couldn't push my dad to that limit. Like,
oh no,
he wouldn't get. He wouldn't. I would. There was. Wow. I was never able to get anywhere near that limit with him.
No.
And I remember one time. Fuck, bro. I don't even remember what was going on. But we were in the living room, and he and I were laying on the ground, and my mom was on the couch, and she was telling me to do something happened, but I barked back, and I said something. I must have said something disrespectful because I've never seen my dad move that fucking fast. But he stood up in the living room and told me, "Get up, put your fucking hands up." And I thought, I'm gonna die today. I mean, first of all, I had enough respect where I would never hit my father.
Right.
Second of all, I didn't have the balls to hit him. Because if I did, I was going to get it that much worse. Mm. The best you could do is try to defend yourself so it doesn't hurt that bad. You know what I mean? And, yeah, dude, that shit happened, and my mom jumped between us, and I was like, yeah, come on. Listen to mom. Calm down. Fuck. And but that old man, dude, I tell you what, we used to fuck around in the front yard like he was making meat one time. He was doing carne asada, and dude, he must have been in his, I don't know, 60s at that time. Mm-hmm. And I started messing around with him, right? He says, you think you ready? You think you ready today? And I was like, hell yeah, I'm ready. Come on, old man. Just fucking around with him, right? Dude, that old man lit me up like, dude, he 66 and his hands were so fast, bro.
Wow.
And I was just like I couldn't, he's left-handed, so I know that that's what he started with, but I couldn't see where they were coming from. Like, he was just that fast, bro. And I was like, God damn. I was like, how are you still this fast? And there's this dude online. I can't remember his name, but he's like a speed bag world champion, and he does tricks with it. So he hits it, and then he'll because like most guys want to go in and they want to fucking beat a speed bag,
right?
And it's not. It's about timing, right? So you hit it lightly until you get the rhythm, and then you speed up. And it's not so much hitting it harder, you're just hitting it faster.
Right.
Right? Well, my dad could hit it, and he would hit it one hand, and then he'd hit it so it hit once, and then when it'd come back, he'd hit it back the other way.
Oh, wow.
So, and then he would be able to hit it sideways. So he'd hit it once, hit it twice with the other hand, hit it again, and then with the other arm, cross it. and he'd be able to get it to cross and then right smack without skipping a beat, dude.
Wow.
I mean, he was amazing with the speed bag, dude. Just super fast. And I got a cousin. His name's Ruben, and he works out at the water company out in Sky Valley. Okay. Or not Sky Valley, Eagle Mountain area. And so our cousin was trained by my dad and taught him how to hit the speed bag and shit and do the tricks. Well, he taught my other cousin, the one that works out in Eagle Mountain, and I guess he had been in the military, and when he was there, he would hit the speed bag, and he would do tricks and do shit, and people were like, dude, where the fuck did you learn how to do that? And he's like, my uncle. He said, well, really, my cousin taught me, but the man that taught him was my uncle, and if you could see him hit a speed bag, I'd be nothing. So it's just kind of fun to hear these kind of stories about him now, you know what I mean? Not that he's fast or whatever, but, you know, he's had a big influence on all that shit. But it's so strange, like, you know, we sit and we talk to people from other races. And, you know, growing up in the hood, it was always about you learn to fight. Like, you ride your bike, it was all about having fun, being out there, but everybody had to learn how to fight.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, your dad probably had that same conversation and taught you shit too, right?
Yeah.
How to look out for stuff, how to handle certain situations, how to get out of certain situations, and how to deal with shit. And that is such a lost art. Like, Sebastian, I could probably train a little bit better than Milo, because he and I are kind of the same. So even though we get upset with each other because we say shit to each other the same kind of way, the same kind of tone, the same kind of attitude or whatever, that we kind of get it. And we're like, oh yeah, okay, well, we're just talking our shit language to ourselves, right? And but Milo, he's too soft mentally.
Stubborn? Oh, that works too.
You know what I mean by, you know, I don't mean that he's soft as a person, but he's soft mentally to where he can't understand what I'm saying without being offended or thinking that I'm talking down to him. He wants me to be, here's your participation trophy. You know what I mean?
No, I totally understand what you're saying, because I feel at certain times I have to take that approach with my son. But then again, it's hard for me, and I tell him, you know, look, I'm always going to be 100% real with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to just give you the watered down version. I'm going to give you 100%, you know, whatever the fuck it is. Okay, because I feel that's my job,
right?
As my dad and as your parent, as your dad, you know, to give it to you how it is, because the world is going to be fucking hard on you. So if I'm fucking hard on you, you're able to deal with, you know, the shit that's out there in the world.
Right.
You still hug him, right?
Of course. Only on special occasions.
See? And not out in public, right?
Whose fucking side are you on, Ivan?
I think Ivan understood that out in the public thing more than other people.
Probably, yeah.
No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so hard, dude. Like, those conversations are so fucking demanding. Like, let me give you an example. Today, I texted Milo. Hey, son, if you're at home, can you please go out and unplug the yellow cord that's plugged into the front of the studio? Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
Like, you would think, all right, fuck, I just got to walk outside, look at the front of the studio, find the yellow wire, and unplug it, right? Yeah. Not difficult instructions at all. So he said, hey, I'm at work. I get off at 2. I'll do it when I get home. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that for me. Right? So then I get home and I said, hey, did you remember to unplug that wire? He said, no, I didn't even know what you were talking about.
Oh my God.
I was like,
I guarantee you he didn't even walk out of the fucking back door to come look.
I know
okay.
He didn't.
Okay.
Because if you looked at what I texted, it's exactly what I said. Please unplug the yellow cord from the front of the studio. I mean, it's only fucking 12 feet wide. Right. It's not going to be that long of a fucking walk, really. Yeah. Like, come on. And then I was like, how can you not? Oh, fuck. Oh, so you just gonna walk in the door and get mad at me even though I cleaned the bathroom? Hey, well, you know what? You're supposed to clean the fucking bathroom.
Yeah.
I said, the problem is I'm not mad that you didn't do it. I'm mad that you didn't fucking communicate with me. All you had to do was say, hey, Dad, what yellow cord? What are you talking about? I don't understand. And then I could have clarified it for you.
Take a picture.
Something
Send
like,
a pic.
right? Hey, Dad, is this what you're talking about?
Mark it up with an arrow.
FaceTime, yeah.
Like, he FaceTimes me all the time.
Yeah.
With shit that he wants, or hey, Dad, buy me this, or hey, Dad, these are what I
Yeah,
want.
sends you pictures of shoes and shit.
But he can't walk outside and see a wire and be like, that's the one he's talking about.
Yeah.
Or again, take a picture and ask. Does your kid do shit like that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You know, but it just, I mean, that was mostly in the past. You know, some discussions.
Aren't your kid and Milo the same age?
They are the
right?
same
Yeah,
age.
okay, that's what I
They
thought.
are the same age. But it's just one of those things. Are those I could have those? Because when you said I clean the bathroom, and you tell them, hey, that's what you're supposed to do. I had that discussion with James. It's like, oh, well, I clean my room. Okay, great. You should clean your fucking room. It's your room. You should keep your room clean.
right.
But yeah, when I'm telling you, you need to do this, and you need to do this. And there's no gray area there. And it's they didn't do half the shit we had to do as
No.
kids. I remember there was no fucking gardener. I was the fucking gardener.
Yep.
I did all that shit. All the landscaping. I was the fucking landscaper. Okay? There was no automatic sprinklers. I was the fucking sprinkler.
Right.
Those that had the thing attached to the hose. And I had
You
to
were
go
the remote
move
too,
it.
right?
Yeah, I was the fucking remote. Yes. Dad would call me into the room, yelling. I come in there. Yes, Dad. Hey, change the channel. I'm changing the channel, until my dad, figures out what he wants to watch, It shouldn't even been that hard. We only had like 4 fucking stations, but
Right.
but
But it seemed like it took forever.
it took forever to find something.
Fuck.
But man, we had to do all kinds of shit. Just basically fend for ourselves, at certain times. But
And I remember
My kids-
my dad would, hey, you need to learn how to work on the car, and you need to learn. Okay, well, show me. All right. So we go outside. All right, you want to learn? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you one time, and then you gotta remember, I'm not going to show you again. Like, fuck. So you'd have to sit there and learn. I remember my fucking water pump went out on my Monte Carlo. Damn. I went inside. Hey, Dad, my fucking water pump went out. And you gonna change it? I'm like, well, yeah, I will. I need a ride to go get the part. You got the money? Yeah. All right, let's go. So we went and I got the part. So I put it all back together and I was like, fuck yeah, fuck you. I didn't need you. I did it. Right? And the motherfucker leaked.
oh,
Because I didn't put the fucking gasket on right. Because it's got to be on just right or it's going to fucking leak.
damn.
So I pulled that motherfucker apart again. And he's sitting there laughing. Oh, I thought you had it. Oh, I will. I got it. Don't trip. So I pulled that shit apart and I did it again. And I waited and I got it that time. I said, see, I got it. I'm good. He said, good. You don't need me anymore. Now you can fix all your own shit. I'm like, fuck. And then it'd be, hey, Dad, you need help outside? Yeah, come on. And we go outside. You want to help me? Yeah, go stand over there. Stay out of my way. What the fuck? How am I supposed to learn like that? But it was just always shit like that. Dude.
Yeah.
Always. But we fucking learn, dude. Goddamn. I do just about anything.
Tough lessons.
Yes, sir. And Mom, oh my God. If you're bored and you need something to do,
yeah.
I'll find something for you to do.
Yep.
My brother, every time, I'm bored. Oh, you need something to do? She wouldn't even be in the same room. You could hear her yell that shit at him.
And he'd be
That
like,
was
nope,
gold.
nope, I'm good. I'm like, shit.
Yep.
Be lucky she didn't come out here and make you go fucking. I remember I had to dig holes one time in the backyard. My dad said, I want you to dig a hole here, and I want you to dig a hole here. All right, cool. So I dug them. I went back inside. All right, Dad, they're done. He said, cool. Put the dirt back in the hole. I was like, what? He said, yeah, just fill them back up. We don't need them. Like, ain't that about a bitch? You just wanted me out of the fucking house. What were you and mom? Oh, man. 9 months later, my sister was born. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, dude, tough shit. Like, and does your son do this? This drives me so fucking crazy, bro. Like I have to walk away crazy, right? When you tell him to do something, does he have his cell phone in his hand while he's trying to do it?
I haven't had that problem. It's the, hey, I tell you to do something. He's like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then half hour goes by. An hour goes by. You know, then you have to go back. It's like, dude, this wasn't a fucking suggestion. I told you to do something. You know?
Yeah, I've had that happen too.
That's the issue I would have with my son, my daughter. My daughter, you know, because they're out of school right now. My wife, when I was on vacation, I kind of saw, you know, what goes on when she leaves the house. She'll tell the kids to do certain things.
Right.
She's like, I'm not coming home to a dirty kitchen or, you know, a sink full of dishes. So, Patty, make sure you get the dishes done before I come home. So my daughter she'll time it. So she won't come out of her room. She know my wife gets off of work like around 5, and it takes her about 15 minutes to get home. So she'll time it perfectly to where they're done in time. She's back in her room before my wife gets home. But cause sometimes I was looking at my watch and like, man, she's cutting it close. No, she's got it down.
Holy shit! Wait, like 4:50, come running out of the room.
Pretty much.
Oh shit!
You know, and get it done. And it's not like she's doing anything. It's not doing anything important.
That's crazy. Yeah, Milo. One of my biggest pet peeves is he'll want to help, but he won't put his fucking cell phone down. And he'll be on a FaceTime.
Uh-huh.
And he'll just tell them to hold on, and he puts it in their pocket. He puts it in his pocket.
That pisses me off, and I'm not even his dad.
That defeats the whole purpose of FaceTime.
Right. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
I don't get that.
And I don't get the friends waiting on the other side.
Yeah, what the hell is so important?
Like, I remember being a kid and being on the phone like all night with a girl or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't ever remember being on the phone with my dude friends.
Yeah, not like that, no.
And
times have changed.
Yeah, man, it's fucking weird.
Because I do that too.
I mean, only time I hear James talking to his friends is when they're like playing video games against each other. Mm-hmm. You know, he gets a little rowdy with that and a little crazy, and my wife doesn't like.
We don't have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Some stuff that comes out of his mouth while he's playing. You know, he's
talking
talking trash. You know,
right?
But
I have a horrendous mouth when I play those games.
Yeah.
Do you play video games at all?
You know, I have not played any video games in a very long time. I used to with my friends, you know, growing up.
Right.
But I haven't played maybe some games on my phone. That's about it. But not like you know, playing Madden or NBA 2K with my son. Last time I remember playing video games with them was when we had the Wii and like Mario Kart and shit.
Oh, okay.
That shit was fun.
We would do that. But
yeah, I never had a video game machine growing up, so I'm not very good at it.
Yeah,
you can tell because he calls them video game machines.
That's what they were back then. They were consoles,
gaming console.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Now I remember when I got my first job out of high school and saved up some money, and I got me when I get a Nintendo 64.
Oh yeah,
or something like that. I think it was, and we played because you know me and my friends we'd like to play. Like GoldenEye, we love playing GoldenEye or Madden.
Holy shit, GoldenEye!
Yeah, so we go, you know, 3 against 1 or all 3 or 4 of us all playing at the same time,
Free for
talking
all.
shit. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm playing Madden, talking shit. You know, good times.
Very good times.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we straightened everything out with the whole conversation from last piece.
We straighten out the straightening out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I'm not alone with my children and that they that other parents go through the same shit.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sitting right
sure.
here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but you know, it's funny because these two kids are totally opposite.
Yeah.
Fuck, we could not be any more different if we tried.
Like Sebastian has lived like the straight and narrow life, like didn't veer off of it, like doesn't do anything wrong. The world is black and white, and either it's right or it's wrong. And if he feels that it's wrong, he's not going there. You're not going to get him to go there. Nobody's going to push him over that line. It is what it is.
If I say no, the answer is no. I'm gonna interrupt you for a second.
Go ahead.
Today, right? He's cleaning the bathroom. I get up to go clean the kitchen, and he's like blasting. Like I'm sure people outside the house could hear his music.
Wow.
And in my head, I'm like, dude, you know there's other people in the house. You talked to me earlier. You know I'm in the house. You do not give a shit. But I'm the one that's gonna put my headphones on, like my earbuds on, because I don't want to disrupt anybody else.
Right.
It's like
Common
Where's-
courtesy.
common courtesy, common sense should be, hey, I'm not gonna I'm gonna play my music so that I can hear it. If like it's not really that big of a deal if it's that loud, you know.
Yeah.
But the volume he had it at was fucking ridiculous. I know I sound old as shit, whatever.
Well,
You know, I mean, because James does the same shit. You know, to the point that sometimes I think, dude, turn that down. Okay, that's loud enough.
Yeah. Well, he does it in the shower because we have a Bluetooth speaker in the bathroom so that he can do that. And he ding, 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 just fucking turn it up. Like, that's fine where it's at. Like, chill out.
and it's like no matter what time. Like he'll get up in the morning,
Yeah.
and like there's times where he'll go to work early, so he doesn't hear it. But then there's times where he's off, so he was up till 3:00, 4:00 in the morning playing video games, and he's asleep when you get up to leave. Yeah, you.
Okay.
And so he's in there and he's cranking his fucking speaker, and waking him up, and I'm like, hey, dude, there's other fucking people in the house. Or he'll do it like he'll go out and he comes back at night
2 in the morning. I've heard him do it at 2 in the morning.
and he's just
Start blasting his
Yeah.
music.
And the speaker, when it turns on, it makes a little bleep noise.
Oh wow.
So at 2 in the morning, I hear the fucking bleep noise, and I'm like, oh well, I'm not gonna be able to sleep for a half hour. And the shit thing is he plays the same song on repeat. Like when he's in the shower, he plays it on repeat, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in bed. It's like, yeah, I can do that, but for a song that I like. I don't like this. Like,
yeah.
I know you guys are complete opposites when
Yeah.
it comes to that. Yeah. You know, he's at that age, man.
Yeah,
he's gonna,
yeah, he most
he's gonna
definitely is.
he's gonna push the boundaries and keep testing them as much as possible. You know, and that's where at a certain point you gotta kinda just will him in. But I know that the approach to talking to him, you may have to take a different approach.
Yeah.
Because you, like I said, you can't come on like, hey, man, what the fuck are you doing? Or because it's just not going to work. It's just going to end up being confrontational.
Right.
It has to be like, come on, man. You know,
The
you
problem
want to
is
play your music, that's fine. But play it down enough to where you hear it. Because I want to blast my shit, you're going to feel the same exact way. You know,
and I got bigger speakers.
exactly.
well,
Exactly.
and that's the thought that goes through my head too. Is I could absolutely blast the foundation of this home right now.
Yeah, I mean, you could go as far as you. I mean, you could take your guitar and start doing.
That's
some
exactly what I
crazy
think.
Rip, you know, like
But I don't,
which.
because I'm a respectful person. So
Yeah, but sometimes the older brother, you gotta, you gotta thump the little brother back in place.
I'm not allowed to. I let him do that.
But that's the thing is like, so he's, he sees it and he's like, how you treated us so different. I probably wouldn't have been able to get away with it. But it's like, dude, but you never stepped out of line. Like I never had to treat you that way. There was never
Right.
any issue with that with you. Like you guys are so different. Like you understand your lifestyle, but you'll never get his lifestyle.
Yeah,
you may start to understand pieces of it, but you'll never understand that lifestyle. And it's difficult because I was probably more like Milo when I was a kid and more like him as an adult. And I'm probably right in the middle of both of them. And it's like, fuck, I understand you, but fuck.
But your position is so tough.
Right.
Because there's no one to play off of. Like, I have my wife at home. She could be good cop. I could be bad cop.
Right.
You gotta have to play both.
Right.
Like, my kids know there's issues, concerns. They can go to mom, baby them, talk to them, whatever.
Right.
Whatever the case may be. But they know if they fuck up, then they got to deal with dad. You don't have that person to play off of, so that your position is very difficult because you kind of have to play both roles,
right?
Or figure out which role I need to be playing today. That's tough scenario right there.
Because I told them when they first came, I said, "Listen, guys, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna teach you everything that I can, but understand that I'm not a soft place for you guys to land. I don't know how to be that for you. I can't. I don't know how to do it. I've done it as best I can, but I'm not like if you cry, like I'll hug you. That's about as far as it's gonna. Like what else can I do for you?
Right.
I don't know how to bring you back from that. Like
exactly.
That's something you're gonna have to figure out. Like you got your answer you can go to. You try calling your mom. You know what I mean? And even my sister, my younger one, is probably a lot like I would be. Like she's not a soft place to land either.
Mm-hmm.
At all. They would be better off calling my sister-in-law for a soft place to land, because even though she wouldn't be the softest place to land, she's probably a lot softer than me and my siblings.
Right.
And I've tried to get them to do that. Milo's reached out and talked to my brother, and I call him ahead of hey, listen, dude, here's what's going on. I need you to try to talk to him if you can, please, because I can't. We don't speak the same language. I'm his dad. He's not going to look at me the same way as he does you. He reveres you. I need your assistance. And he does. He'll come out and he'll talk with them, and they definitely have different conversations. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
So luckily I have, they say it takes a village, and luckily I have a village. It's just a village of me's.
Essentially, that's what
is their problem. You know what I mean?
But so, I mean, you got to have, both. Kids need both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you don't want them to feel like you're only going to come at them, one way. And because you come at them one way, they're not comfortable talking to you about certain things. That's how I feel, with my kids especially.
Right.
I know they have their mom to go to. But as much as I say, hey, you ever need to talk to me, if there's anything you need to talk to me about, I'm here.
Right.
Okay, I'm here for you. You just don't always feel comfortable making that approach, and it just because my style, like I said earlier,
right.
I'm gonna be 100% with you. I'm not gonna give you something that you really want to hear. I'm just gonna come at you real,
I gotta be your dad first.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Just like for instance, we're at James' graduation. We're waiting around. I'm telling my daughter while we're sitting up in stands, like, hey, you're going to college. Once you're done, she's like, no, I don't want to go to college. He's all, I don't really need to go to college. And I look at her and it's like, who fed you that line of bullshit? And then my wife's over there. My sister's like, oh, what's going on? And my wife's like, oh, they're having a father-daughter talk right now.
Right.
But you just, and it's things like that to where, I feel it's like I got to come at them the right way.
Right.
In order to get them to understand my point and, what I'm trying to sell to them, Not necessarily sell to them, but get them to understand my position.
Absolutely. And I think and I think when you come at them like that, you get their attention. And I think that's what we strive for, because that's how we were brought up, right?
Exactly.
So, that's the hard part. It took me about a year and a half to get Milo to understand, hey, dude, I'm on your fucking side,
And
bro.
even then,
Like, I'm on you. Like, I'm Team Milo all day, dude. Like, you need something, I got you. You want something, I got you. Like, but you need to talk to me, dude. Like, I don't know what's going on in your head. I don't know what's going on in your life. And I want to. I
Right.
need to. But
Right.
I need you to communicate with me.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You need to tell me. And you know, yeah, I'm your dad, but I can help you through situations and I can guide you. I says, because I've never steered you wrong up
Right.
to this point.
Right.
And I'll do my best to never steer you wrong, but I need you to communicate with me. And it took probably about a year and a half, dude, for that to kind of sink in. And now I feel like now it's a little bit better where he'll come and talk to me about stuff, unless it's about pulling out a fucking cord out of the front of the studio. Then he won't call me. But other than that, you know, we're pretty good. Pretty good on stuff.
That's good. That's good.
It's a work in progress, my friend. A work in progress.
It always is. It's never ending.
Ivan, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
I appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. You do a great job every time you come in. So thank you for that. Any final words, any shout outs or anything you want to give?
Just like to say, you know, happy 4th of July. Just having this big weekend coming up.
oh yeah,
Everyone, you know, have a good time. I know
Everybody
I
be
am.
safe.
Yeah, be safe.
for sure, skis.
Any final words, Sebastian?
No, buy our merch. We have Sideshow t-shirts on sale for $20.
That's right.
We have the Sideshow hats for $25,
Which
or
they're so amazing. They look so great.
they're cool, they're comfy.
The hats are amazing. Great
Yeah, I
fit.
haven't got one.
Yeah. The shirt, you know, I'm definitely gonna rock it. So I already got it. I know I gotta pick out the perfect pair of shoes for it, but
There you
I'm
go.
ready to go.
Okay, so,
Something that's got red, black, and yellow on it.
so since you said something about that, I had to order me a pair of shoes because I didn't have any. Like I have a pair of Chucks that are like from 2002 that are black and red. But I wore them so much they started to have the little cuts on the end. So I'm like, fuck, I can't wear them anymore. So I ordered me a pair of shoes the other day that are white and red. So we're good. I'm back in action. I can match.
No, I have a pair of retro Jordan 4s that are white and red.
Oh,
So I was
nice.
like, yeah, that's perfect. You know, so yeah, I had it all set, ready to go.
Looking forward to seeing pictures. We're gonna put
Oh,
them all
yeah.
on Instagram.
sure.
Please, if you do buy a shirt and a hat, or a shirt or a hat, please send us pictures. Post them to our Instagram page. We're gonna be doing something fun with that soon.
Nice.
Put it under hashtag Sideshow so that we can look it up, see all your pictures.
There you go.
And again, it's 20 for the shirt, 25 for the hat, or 40 together. Go to our Instagram page if you want to order them. DM us your size, and we'll get you the information on how to get us paid and whatnot, and how to get it to you. And again, if you are on the other side of the country and you want one, I will ship it to you. I won't charge you anything to ship it. Just out of appreciation for you guys listening, we'll get it taken care of for you.
Can't
Cool.
beat that.
Right?
That's a great deal.
Thank you for cleaning the kitchen today. I appreciate it. Milo, thank you for cleaning the
All right.
bathroom today. Great job.
Yeah, let's air out our personal lives. Oh, wait.
It was a nice surprise. I came home and it was like, hey, I cleaned the bathroom and Sebastian cleaned the
See,
kitchen.
I didn't say that I cleaned the kitchen, though.
Well, he did that because he was pissed off that I got mad about the plug. Like, you're going to get mad at me even though I cleaned the bathroom? And like, well, yes.
Oh.
Because I sent you a text and you said, yes, I got you. Not, hey, yeah, I got it. But I'm going to call you later.
You're
for
yelling at the
clarification."
wrong people. You know that,
Just
right?
saying. Well, you brought it up. Fuck, I was good already. I'd already let it go, and you bring it back up again.
I was just saying that I didn't say anything.
Keep poking the bear. All right, so thank you guys again for listening. We appreciate it. Love you. And we'll talk to you again soon.